Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Wordsmiths Forge. I am Matthew J. Coran. And today I got a little bit of a treat for you because uh, I like to share some of the things that help me out with my projects, whether it's my writing or just general life stuff. And I'm really into technology, like different apps for different things, because organizing is so huge and I can't put enough emphasis on it. And if if you have a family, you have a husband, wife, kids, um, it's hard to find time for anything. And these tools that are now at our fingertips can help us out tremendously and just being more productive, especially when it comes to just like getting ideas down on paper. You know, takes time to like sit down and write things out or even type things out. And I'm into spending as little time possible writing, ironically. I want to get my ideas down as fast as humanly possible because nothing is more like a slog to me than just sitting down and staring at a screen for hours. And so I thought I might do a little series on different things I do to stay productive to kind of get me out of like creative slogs. And so I want to share a really powerful one with you today. And it's basically just daily journaling. And I'm going to show you how to do it in a way that takes practically no time at all. And I'm going to show you kind of my workflow, how it works, and how you can do it. And I'll even share with you my template that I use. It makes it incredibly easy and really just helps you put your everyday into perspective. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you here. I use the Day One app, and it's been really good for journaling. It's just very simple, very intuitive, very easy to use. And what I like about it is you can create templates. And so I have one here called Journal Entry. You can build your own templates or you can use the ones they give you. I like to use my own because I have a particular way that I structure everything that helps me personally. And so you can use the one I'm about to show you. You can build your own, or you can use ones they have for you. Whatever works for you, whatever makes your life easier, whatever just helps you flow. And so I'm going to show you here, insert template. I'm going to use my journal entry one. So this is my generic template for a daily journal entry. So you see today's dates. You list any special occasion. I like doing holy days and feast days because it's just a great marker for where you're at, like in your spiritual journey, like throughout the year. Like Christmas is a big one. Like where are you at on Christmas? It's a great time people can take a inventory. Like where are you at? Where are you at the end of this year? What are you looking forward to next year? Things like that. So I start with reflections of the day, number one. And I just generally ask myself how the day went and how like my general impressions, like was it good? Was it bad? Why I think so, things like that. Lessons learned. I know as a kid, my parents would always ask me whenever I come home from school, what did you learn today? I'd be like, nothing. We're always learning something, whether it's like uh the temperature at which like water freezes or, some life-changing epiphany that just makes you rethink your entire life. Uh just random facts, whatever it is, you know, you can chalk it up to your lessons learned. And try to keep it applicable to like what's going on in your life. But, some even like the dumbest of things can spark your interest. Like I'll hear homesteading facts, like different things you can do with chickens, and now I'm like, man, I want to get chickens. you know? So It can even be the little things. And then you go into goals and aspirations. Now, this is a big one where a lot of times I'll take what I learned and then make a goal out of it. So I'll be talking about, for example, a new app I found and how I how I can use it to improve my organization for my writing because you can't ever be too organized with your writing. I'll get into that in another video, how I organize a lot of my stuff. And so I'll make goals with it. So I'll be like, okay, I'll make sure to update this app every week and review it to see where I'm at with everything. Like use it as a kind of pulse check on some of my projects, things like that. Failures and areas for improvements. Fun fact for the day, you can put this on your lessons learned. Everyone fails at some point in their life every single day, at least 7 times. You know, uh, we have church teaching that says the average holy person sins 7 times a day. So the average person, you always have room for improvements in every aspect of your life, but take this time to kind of reflect on, the kind of general flow of the day and where you could have improved. Uh, what could you have done differently? Where have you fallen short? Why? And make sure not to beat yourself up though. Don't don't fret over it. Like that's not the point of this, and it's not to like just do a self-bashing session, but acknowledge your faults. Acknowledge where you have weak points. This is a great exercise in humility too, which is great for creative people. Creative people need to be humbled all the time. But it's good to acknowledge your faults because when you identify them, you can fix them. So reflect on that. Reflect on where you fell short today and steps you can take to uh to fix it. Then prayers of the day. I am a Catholic Christian. This is a Christian channel, so I'm going to bring in prayer on a lot of different things, and I highly recommend, um, especially if you're Christian, list your prayers for the day, your uh, different prayer requests you might have, prayer requests other people have given you. This is a great place to list them out and keep track of them. I'll show you in a little bit how to do that. And I use this to keep track of things to remember for confession. I have a special tag for that. And it's just a great way to take inventory of, reconnecting with God, take that special time for prayer and just, you know, again, kind of reflect on all the ways that you need God's grace in your life. Daily gratitude. Even if you're not religious, you can definitely do this one. Um, Daily gratitude, just be grateful for something. Be grateful for something. It can be, having your long lost friend reach out to you after 5 years. You guys had a rift and then like you fell off for a little bit, but then you talk for like 2 hours and it's great. Put that under gratitude. I found the TV remote under my couch. Put that under gratitude. It can be anything. The whole point of this is to just remember that life is a gift. Be grateful for something. Closing thought. This is going to be very similar to reflections of the day. You're going to revisit your reflection of the day. Compare your overall impression from step one to your overall impression now, after you've gone through all this. Compare the two. Uh, are you more optimistic? If not, why? Because after going through all this, you really should be more optimistic, in my personal opinion. But sometimes you're not, because sometimes you might be going through a dark night of the soul. You might be going through a lot of stuff. And so it's good to also realize after all this reflections, if you're not feeling optimistic, take inventory. Why do you feel that way? You know what? And then go back to 5. What should you be praying about? To remedy that. And Bible quotes, you can have a Bible quote. I include the Deuterocanon, which is some people refer to as the Apocrypha. It's 7 books taken out of the Old Testament and most common Bibles. You see them in Catholic and Orthodox Bibles. There's a lot of richness and wisdom in there. So even if you're not Catholic or Orthodox, I highly recommend looking into these books. There's some real treasures in there. So I include them in, getting a daily Bible quote to kind of go along with your entry. And I like to include a quote from a saint because just as there's a wealth of wisdom in the Bible, there's a wealth of wisdom in a lot of the writings of the saints. Even if you're not Catholic, again, I highly recommend you uh, get at least a little bit familiar. You could just have a quote from a different saint every day. And so, getting to the point of all this, you might be wondering at this point, this isn't really fast or easy. This is a lot to go through, and you're right. But I'm going to show you how to do it in a way where it takes no more than 10 minutes, and including these parts. And so this is going to involve the use of AI, and you might be averse to using AI, which that's your personal choice. That's fine. You can do all this with just yourself. You can just write into all here, or you can do what I'm about to show you, at least the first half of it, and uh, do a voice recording. You can use the Google Recorder app, and you can just talk, and it will translate your voice into text. And then you can just plug that in here, and you can just use these prompts as a way to structure your thoughts. But what I'm about to do, I'm gonna go through all this. I'm gonna show you how quickly you can do this using I use Recorder app and I use ChatGPT. And giving the tech overlords information about your life, I don't really care. Like there's nothing really about my life that I'm reflecting in here that's gonna be groundbreaking for anything. But and just to show that, I'm gonna go through this right now. I'm gonna do my journal entry. Reflections of the day. I had a very calm, very slow day today. But I did get a decent amount done. It was actually really cool because I'm learning when you get a lot of structure into your life, uh, you can get more done in the day in less time. And I also think that prayer life has a lot to do with that. Uh, when you spend a lot of time praying, it's counterintuitive because you think you're wasting time. It's like, oh, I'm just sitting here talking, I'm not doing anything. You'd be surprised what can come over you and how quickly you can get things done. Not to say that that's the reason why you should pray, but it sometimes it does work out that way. Lessons learned. I kind of already got into that a little bit. That's the thing. A lot of these kind of bleed together. So lessons learned. I learned a lot about how when you structure things, you can do a lot more in less time, and you can apply this to your work. You can apply this to your personal life. In every way, you can get organized, and it will help you tremendously. Goals and aspirations. Today, I learned how to do YouTube videos with screen share. So one of my goals is I want to be able to do this more consistently. If I can do this, once a week, that would be wonderful. I have a lot of things I'm trying to do once a week, so I'm trying to balance it out. Especially with making sure I balance with the rest of my life, taking care of the baby. Got a lot to juggle, so I'm gonna try to structure my goals so they're not too overwhelming. And I want to get a chapter a week done for my book. And if I can get a YouTube video a week as well, that'd be great. But maybe I'll just shoot for every other week. Failures and areas for improvements. There are times in the day I get kind of sluggish, especially whether I'm doing fasting or different diet protocols. Um, and sometimes my energy just drops. And so, and a lot of times it's not because of like the fasting or anything itself. It's when you have cheat days. Like last night I was hanging out with my family and I had some sweets and I had a really carb heavy meal, which is unusual for me. And that can just wreck you. So paying attention to my diet, taking care of myself so then I don't just have those large energy dips in the day. It's really helpful. Prayers for the day. I want to pray for my family first and foremost, for my wife and my son, and and for myself. That I can lead my family well, and that my wife can have a nurturing environment to raise our child, and that our child grows happy and healthy. I also like to pray for my family, my friends, that they all grow in their faith life each and every day, even the ones that don't know God or don't really have much of a relationship with Him. I pray that they grow in that relationship as time goes on, and pray for the state of our nation that we as a nation can grow in faith, that we become more devoted to Christ in our daily lives, and that as a nation become we grow in our morality, we gain more of that morality back, and that also is reflected in our leadership because we get the leadership we deserve. And so I hope that or I pray that we become a more holy people that gets more moral, holy leadership that seeks to actually serve the people and that are resilient to forces of corruption. I also pray for my our church leaders, pray for my pastor, our bishop, and for our Pope. You might disagree with a lot of what the Pope says and does, and I argue that that's all the more reason to pray for him. Daily gratitude. I am grateful for all these tools that we have at our fingertips that we live in an age where people can do all this stuff and this isn't something that's reserved for like really rich people who can pay out the wazoo to get all these fancy tools. Like the tools I'm using right now are completely free and it's amazing. And yeah, I'm super grateful for the benefits it's having in my life. Closing thoughts. Overall, today was a great day. I have no complaints. Productive, had some energy dips, but I slogged through it and we got there. And I'm able to record a YouTube video today, which with my current workload is a miracle for me. So I'm glad I'm able to go through all this, and I'm happy that I'm able to share this with you guys, and I hope it's useful. I hope that people can get use out of this because this is a very powerful tool, and I think that the more you journal, the more you get into the habit of journaling, and the more self-aware you become, which is always a wonderful, wonderful thing to have in your life to grow in self-awareness because that's when you can make real change in your life. A lot of people stumble through their lives there are people that are like in their 70s stumbling through their lives completely not self-aware at all and they wonder why bad things happen. Uh, the nice thing about this is that you can take real ownership in your life and you can uh you can make real change when you take ownership. And so, okay, while I was talking about this, I was recording myself uh, doing my journal entry. And granted, I said this takes less than 10 minutes. I rambled for quite a bit, but I'm also doing this for demonstration purposes. Usually my journal entries are like maybe 7 minutes, if that. And so off screen, I'm kind of backing up my journal entry now. And so I'll pull it up here. So you can see here where'd where my voice to text go? Somewhere over here. Oh, transcript. Here we go. yeah, so basically everything I was just talking about is now here. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy all of it and get my chat GPT up. I can do a whole video on chat GPT too. Like it's such an insanely useful tool and you can use it in really cool ways. All right. So let me just see here. All right. My daily journal. And we're gonna put in create a journal entry based on the following voice notes. I gave it specific instructions and I put in the template file in ChatGPT. It's super smart where it now follows my template format when I put in my voice notes. So copy paste, boop. So now it's just pumping this out. And you see it's following the same exact format I showed you on day one. And it's just going. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's a little bit slower, but better than writing all this out. And so, yeah, my only gripe with ChatGPT right now is that it's been giving me the same Bible and saint quotes over and over. But, I mean, maybe God just really wants me to meditate on these quotes. Completely possible. So commit your work to the Lord and your plans be established. That's absolutely true. You know, give everything to God, and it doesn't like you'll you'll get done what you need to get done. Let everything be an offering to God. Pray as though everything depended on God. Work as though everything depended on you. I don't know if St. Augustine actually said that. I've seen something similar, I believe, attributed to Thomas Aquinas. So another thing with ChatGPT, when you ask it to like provide quotes like this, take what it says with a grain of salt because sometimes it's just wrong. Um, but I mean, overall, like this has always done a very good job of just like restructuring my voice notes. And it's not exactly my words. It sometimes changes the wording, but as long as the core concepts are the same, I really don't care. So I mean, that's a personal preference thing, honestly. So now you can just copy and paste this entire thing, plug it into your day one entry, and that's your journal entry. But as for me, I'm a bit more particular, and so I will literally copy and paste section by section, so then I keep the formatting. Boop. And I'm not going to bore you with watching me do all this. So yeah, that is basically in a nutshell, after 20 minutes, how to uh do a daily journal entry and basically no time at all. Because I showed you like all the steps and like explained everything, but all you really need to do is pop open Recorder, talk about your day, plug it into ChatGPT real quick, copy and paste the transcript into your notes, your day one notes. Oh, almost forgot to show you. So after everything's said and done, you can tag it. You can tag it with like all different kinds of stuff. I have all different kinds of tags I can assign to it. YouTube definitely applies. You can organize it however you want, and then you can just search for the tags, and then journal entries with that tag will pop up. So yeah, it's an insanely useful tool, and I hope that if you do end up using it, that it becomes a great benefit in your life. So yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts or if you have any other different tools that you use for journaling, or if you've had you've also had positive experiences with journaling in your life and what it's done for you. Feel free to share in the comments below. And yeah, like and subscribe. I will be doing a lot more of these productivity videos down the road, God willing. And yeah, I'm excited to share with you guys more stuff that I've been working on. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. Take care and God bless.